Patrick Hubbard, 47 years old.
Okay, we have Patrick Hubbard here, as he's just said, and we're going to do some interview questions. Is that okay?
That's fine.
Okay, how did you feel when you met my mom, Monique?
I don't know, man. It was a good feeling, meeting somebody. We met at a wedding. It was my barber's wedding, so it was cool. She didn't think I would remember her phone number, so that was the interesting point. And it was cool. I called her the next day. I think she was shocked. She was shocked that I remembered the number, and it kind of went from there. It went from there. It grew from there. We talked for a while. That was the next day. We talked for a good bit.
Mm-hmm. So, what made you fall in love with Mommy?
Well, we were friends. We were friends for a long time. We helped each other out. That was the basis of the relationship. We really started to help each other. I would help her with John Tez. I think he was 5. He was 5 at the time, and she was in school, and she would go to class, take some classes, and she would drop in with me, and I would look after him. And sometimes she would help me with Autumn or with Aaron, and we were real good friends. We were friends, and then they grew from there. And I had a business at the time, and I went through some struggles. In business, everything is ups and downs. You got ups, you got downs, and went through a down period. And I hadn't told a lot of people this story in terms of when she was there for me. A lot of people don't know about that story, like maybe her side of the family or my side of the family. But it was a point where I just wanted to leave. I wanted to leave Charlotte. I said, all right, I think Charlotte is running its course on me. I wanted to just go home, maybe start over. And I had the conversation with her, and I was like, I pretty much made up my mind that, things ain't quite going right. Just kind of want to reset. Might want to move back home and, kind of start things over. But it was at that time she told me, she said, well, Patrick, I loved you. And, wherever you go is where I want to be. And I said, well, what about John Tez? Well, he just have to go with us. And that point, it kind of changed some things for me. It changed my energy, and it turned a lot of things around, and started believing, in myself a little more, and doing things. And then that kind of really endeared me to your mom. It really, it pulled on my heart, and it made me dedicate myself a little more in terms of love. I already loved her, but that was really like the in love moment. That was the in love moment.
That's really deep. So, were you afraid of having children at first?
Nah, I wasn't afraid of having children. We had kids. I had kids, and we discussed it. We talked about it before we got married. That we just didn't want any more kids. It was a numbers game, and we said that when Autumn graduated from high school, we'd be pretty much set. We can go places, do things that we wanted to do, and not necessarily have to have restrictions. But as God would have it, we ended up getting blessed with a kid, this little boy that came out licking his tongue at us. So, that's pretty much that story. But no, not afraid, because we both had experience as far as parenting, and we knew what parenting entailed and raising a good kid entailed. So we decided when you came along, that we gonna put our all into you.
Mhm.
Cool.
So, how did you feel when Mommy had me?
It's a proud moment, man. Proud moment, and I had to change a lot of my pattern at that time. At that time, I was on the go. I was really on the go business wise. Was doing a lot, and I had proud moments. I've been there for all my kids' birth, and I was able to cut the umbilical cord and see you into the world. And it was a proud moment. But I knew that something was special, was special about you, and I wanted to kind of refocus my energies. There's a lot of things that I missed in your brothers and sisters' lives. I missed a lot because I was always on the go, always constantly on the go, and I missed a lot, in terms of monumental things, and I wanted to dedicate myself to being there more. So you're kind of getting the results of me being so busy early.
Mhm.
But to answer the question, it was a proud moment. I felt good. I felt proud.
Uh-huh. How did you feel when I said my first word?
Well, I was proud because your first word was "dad." I just kept making you say "dad," so dad. But I was proud, and it wasn't long after that you said a lot of other types of words, dad, mama, and you spoke early, and you started speaking in sentences, because that's the way we talk to you. Your brothers and sisters would speak to you as if you knew what was going on, and that's the way we spoke to you too. And that's really an educational tool to pass on to you. And when you have your kids, you talk to them like they know what's going on. You speak to them as if they understand everything that you're saying, and then you show them. You be examples to them, and they turn out pretty good. But yeah, I was proud of that first word. It was that.
Okay. Did you see my future when you saw me? You first saw me.
Nah, when I first saw you, I saw God, because that's what I prayed over you. I named you when you were still in your mom's belly. We didn't come up with a name at last minute. We knew that you were gonna be Patrick McKenzie Hubbard Jr. And so like I said, when I first saw you, it was a proud moment. And like I said, I saw God. I saw what God can do, what God can bring about.
Mhm. How was it like when you were a kid?
Oh man, it was good times, man. It was good times because I was a kid. I didn't have a lot of stress. I didn't have bills. There was a lot of things that I didn't have to worry about. And not that I worry too much now, but I'm concerned about, you got kids, so I was able to enjoy childhood, and my mom and my dad and grandparents, they made sure that we enjoyed childhood, whether it was my dad, your granddad, taking us to Atlanta to a baseball game. That was the only baseball game I had gone to until a professional one, major league game, until we went to a game out here. But I remember that, and my family and mom and dad, they made a lot of memories. We did a lot, man. Went to a lot of football games. We hung around South Carolina State. Troy and I, my uncle Troy and I were ball boys, so we'd be down on the sideline, and we'd give the teams water. We did all of those little things, and worked for your great grandfather during our breaks. We went to work for him, and it was like clockwork, man. Whenever you got out of school, we got out of school. That next morning, Granddaddy was outside. Excuse me, he was outside wanting us to go to work. And the good thing about Granddaddy, he believed in paying you at the end of the week. So we got paid. We got paid cash money at the end of the week. We gave him an invoice. He gave us cash money, and that's pretty much how it worked. But childhood was great, man. Good community. We grew up in a tough time once we got towards high school, when drugs affected and ravaged the black communities just about everywhere. And so, your trust issue, it was a trust issue with a lot of people there. You didn't know who to trust, who not to trust. But what I found is that as I grew older and got older, it made people prove their worth. I was able to hold people to their word, and just that experience alone, growing up, it kind of helped me decipher people, kind of feel people out, be able to get a good judge of character as I grew up and got a little older. But growing up, man, was good. Up through 18, 20, when I didn't have many responsibilities, it was a good time, a real good time.
Mhm. It's a good time here.
Yeah, I'm still having fun.
If you could do something right now, what would you do?
If I could do, one thing?
Like anything.
Like anything, right now, what would I do? Just given, does it have to be somewhere I can go, or,
You could go somewhere, you could be something, you could do anything.
All right, what I would do is I would leave here right now. I would leave here with a plane full of goods, water, generators, food, and I would stop first in Puerto Rico, because Puerto Rico got ravaged by the two